Since 1795, seniors have spoken from the commencement stage. Indeed, in early years, all seniors spoke. The present wise practice of limiting the student speakers to 3 members of the class began in 1901. I know you're relieved. 1 speaker is chosen by the class, 1 is selected by the Phi Beta Kappa Society, and the last speaker is our valedictorian. It is my pleasure to introduce our class speaker, Julia Juster.
I have 3 minutes. Unless, of course, I go rogue, chain myself to the podium, feed the key to a squirrel, and refuse to leave. We'll see. I want to be very clear about what I will and won't do with the 3 minutes I have today. I'm going to stand here as the 2nd woman in the history of Williams College to be elected class speaker. Okay, thank you. Honored and so grateful to my classmates who voted for me. I know they're expecting some jokes, so I'm going to make a few of those. I'm going to wave to my mom and dad. Hey. Okay. And I'm going to speak my truth, the truth of a 22-year-old, exhilarated, exhausted, and very soon-to-be college graduate. This truth, this individualized expression of my past, present, and future will be mine, and I will not claim it as yours. Although I was voted to speak on behalf of the class, it would be inaccurate and irresponsible for me to stand here and pretend I can represent each and every one of you and your experience at Williams. I didn't always feel this way. I was tempted to try and write a speech that would encompass the entirety of our past 4 years. For the record, I was also tempted to spend these 3 minutes teaching you how to fold your program into an origami cow, so I'm really grateful to my editors. Because I was chosen to represent my peers, I assumed my role was to deliver a speech that was a reflection of our shared experience, one that you would all nod along to as I somehow managed to summarize this, in 3 minutes. This task seemed as overwhelming and impossible as any assignment I've had in college, so I did what I know how to do. I sat down to write a paper. I analyzed, I synthesized, I reorganized my room, not the speech. I did my research, I took my notes, and I watched exactly what Netflix told me to. Mostly movies in the category foreign food dramas with a strong female lead. I wanted a theme. I wanted a thesis statement for our time at Williams. But I was using old tools for a new task. And what I got was a trivial list of our superficial connections. Something about the sun setting on the Berkshires and long tortured nights within Sawyer Library's doomed walls, and honestly a very weird biological tangent that included the phrase, our common blood, guts, double helices, and all that jazz. I was laboring and procrastinating over the premise that in speaking to you, I should speak for you. That's impossible. What I can say, what any of us can say, is what we know. My individual experiences inform my own perspective, as yours do for you. It's our responsibility then to learn more, to learn as much as we can, so that when times like these come, we can say more. Not in mere word count, but more in the sense of an informed empathy, a respect, and a curiosity for the truths we have not yet heard. So I'll end here with my truth. My name is Julia. I am 5'4" and a third. I am 22 years old. I've been told that 22 is rather young, and there will be a day, probably more than one, when I change my mind and shift my course. And today will feel like a distant memory of a time when I was just becoming everything I will be. But I feel old, and right now this seems like a really big deal, so let's go with that. I feel old, and I feel scared. From what I've learned and heard and seen, I think a lot of you do too. We're scared to leave, we're scared to start, and we're scared to fail, even though failure might be exactly what we need right now. Leap and the net will appear just in time for you to take a selfie with it. So far, I'm old, I'm scared, and I have a sinking suspicion that half of my clothes have fallen behind my school-issued dresser drawers. Things are going great. All I can do in this moment is blatantly appropriate a quote from the movie Mean Girls, written by my best friend-to-be, Tina Fey. Ready? We just have a lot of feelings. And in a few minutes, we won't even go here. But we did, and we will always share that truth. What you can say is what you know, so learn more. Expand your truth with conviction and compassion. Thank you.